Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast Season 2. This week we're discussing the episode of Angel the Ring. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
And yes, so this episode originally aired February 29th, 2000, attracting approximately 5.21 million viewers. Number one movie in America this week. It's the same as last week, it's The Whole Nine Yards. However, number one song in America this week. Do you have any guesses?
Hmm.
It is not the same as last week.
Yeah, not the same. Something that would have pushed out Savage Garden, something at the time.
It's a band
Hmm.
I'm not familiar of by name.
Nothing immediately has come into mind.
It is a song called Amazed by a band called Lone Star. I'm not.
Oh man, the Spaceballs things that I could make fun of with that.
Anyway, moving quickly along. For video
Indeed.
games, we have a number of big titles this week.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to start off with probably the least well known, namely because it came out on the Jaguar.
Yeah.
And it's a game called Battlesphere.
Hmm.
It's like a space like a flying like combat game,
Yeah,
like a
it's not.
Tie Fighter kind of game, that kind of thing.
Yeah, not surprising.
A little game on the Dreamcast, which technically already come out in arcades the year prior, but whatever. Dead or Alive 2.
Ooh.
I've never played any of the Dead or Alive games.
Just typical sort of fighters. I
Yeah,
don't think that they really had a specific niche at the time.
they would later, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point. Also on the 29th, on the PlayStation 1 and on Windows as well, would be Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed.
Also understandable.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have separated too much from the typical racers, I don't think.
I think the only thing was that you could only drive as a Porsche in it.
Yeah.
That might have been the only difference. And also on the 29th, on the Dreamcast and like a whole bunch of other consoles, Rayman 2 The Great Escape.
Ooh, that is the neats.
It is. Yes. I know a lot of people really like the the Rayman games. I've never played any of them though.
It was kind of one of my big introductions to the series. I knew of him a little bit,
Mhm.
but just not having the systems or any sort of experience at the time, I never really got too much into it. It wasn't until seeing it at a friend's place, them playing through the startup of the story, that sort of discovered it and saw the gameplay style of it, which was fairly neat for Rayman 2.
Right on. So, also on the 29th, on the Dreamcast, a game called Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage, which you probably aren't familiar with the name, but it was released. Shenmue came out before it, but this is another game that kind of popularized the use of like QTEs and like
Uh-huh.
non-linear pathing for the game and stuff.
Okay. Hmm.
So it's notable, but you might not be too terribly aware of it. And the big
Yeah.
game that came out on that day on the N64, Nintendo was like, "Oh, that's nice that all of you release these little games. Fuck you, we've got Pokemon Stadium."
Oh, my. The stadiums.
Yes, Pokemon Stadium,
Indeed.
which is just a fantastic game. Even though I'm
Yeah.
not like a huge Pokemon fan, like it's still a good game.
It's good enough to bring up to a party or whatnot, or for any of the stuff that you want to try and complete with it, you'd need all of the accessories to actually somewhat manage it.
Yeah. Okay. And there's one other game I want to bring up because, damn it, I want to talk about this game.
Duly noted.
technically, it doesn't come out until March 2nd in North America, although it was
Ooh,
already released in Europe at this point, so screw you, it counts.
okay. Which game would this supposedly be?
It's a PS1 game. It's WWF SmackDown,
Ah, I
the
see.
original SmackDown, which, they're, oh, it fond memories of this one. Like, couldn't go back and play it now because it looks like hot garbage.
Kind of understandable being on the PlayStation for how old it is.
But like even for like PS1, it looks like hot garbage. But
Hmm.
so many fond memories of that game. Anyway, moving on to the episode uh, in question this week. So, okay, we start off the episode with Cordelia and Wesley bickering about a new demon database, and Wesley being like, "Books are better," and Cordelia found a database that's called Demons, which is a very uh,
Oh man, I think
original title.
seeing on the computer that it had a devil's in there, but makes sense for demons. It's like, why would they just come up with a better name for it? But at that particular time, there's plenty of internet sites that would have completely went with something like that.
I mean, yeah, absolutely they would have. They still do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so uh, Darren uh, McNarma, McNarma, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, stumbles into the
Yeah,
Angel
it's pretty good
Investigations
theory.
office, saying that his brother Jack was kidnapped the previous night by a group that was not exactly people. He tells Angel that he and his brother were not close since Jack wasn't as successful as Darren. Jack had a gambling problem, and although Darren paid off bookies for him in the past, he'd recently refused to help him again. However, he's feeling guilty and wants his brother back, so he hires Angel to find out what happened to him. Okay, I'm going to skip a whole lot here because it's kind of not important. Angel obviously takes the case. He goes, looks into the whole bookie situation, interrupts the card game, and ends up being kidnapped and brought to this underground club where they have demon fights seemingly every night of the week. They are fights to the death, and any demon who gets 21 wins is allegedly given their freedom. However, we don't know if that's actually true or not.
Yeah, under the circumstances, that sort of seems like the flowery wording that gives the fighters motivation. I doubt there would be any sort of truth to it.
Yeah, and they put these like silver wristbands on them that are meant to like if they cross certain lines, it'll like kill them, even though it kind of doesn't work terribly well. Alrighty.
One exception. There's the two examples they show of it properly working.
Yeah, but then when Angel grabs the guy, it doesn't really work. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just sort of momentary. It's just his hand and whatnot reaches out, and he just gets a bit of a shock, but enough to pull the guy in and get him into a chokehold.
Yeah, so Angel wakes up in the slave quarters, and basically he's given all the rules for the fight, and he has to fight a couple of people in this episode while Cordelia and Wesley attempt to save him. At one point, pretending to be detectives.
Because on the one hand, it's good that if they don't see the angel comes back, it's like, this might seem a bit concerning. And then just their chemistry out on the job with trying to get things together, it is nice.
Yes. So Wesley and Cordelia go to the fights. They see that Angel is obviously involved in this now.
Mhm.
They Cordelia manages to pocket one of the wristbands that one of the people who's running it, which is Darren and his brother. It was a whole story that was made up.
Yeah,
Places on the thing. Cordelia is able to pocket it, so they're able to make like a little key gimmick for it. Uh, Wesley goes to where the fighters are being held and says like, "Hey, I made a key for it." And then one of the fighters named Crib steals it from him, and he's like, "Hey, wait a minute."
yeah, you know, be careful what kind of demons you mess with because who knows if they have an elastic tongue that they can shoot out and snag an item from you.
Yes, we also see Lila Morgan, who's a lawyer who works for Wolfram and Hart, and she seems to be at all of the fights.
Mm.
So maybe that will be
Mm.
important later.
Yes.
So Crib gets this key. Obviously, he gets the wrist. We don't see this part, but we know it happens. He gets the
Yes.
wristbands off of all of the other demon fighters. Angel and who was the other one? Who was he fighting? It's like it's Trepkos. Yeah, it's Trepkos. He's having a
Mm.
fight with. They're like half, but they're both half dead. These demons all kind of like force their way into the pit where they're fighting. All of the um, I guess civilians go running, and all the demons are freed. And then Cordelia and Wesley and Angel are like, "Oh shit, we just let a whole bunch of demons free into the city."
Well, we did a good thing, but we also did a bad thing, so we might want to fix that.
Yes, yes, they managed to release a whole lot of demons into the city. Anyway, what did
Well,
you
at the
think?
very least, they have some work to work on.
Yeah, like they didn't have enough. So, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it turned out fairly good for going with the gladiatorial style battle, the mystery of finding Angel, trying to get him out of the situation, but then also the throw in of the agent from uh, Calgan and Hart.
Wolfram and Hart.
That sort of yes, that came in and sort of got Angel out of the situation to get him in on the plan and push this fighting ring under the rug. Give him kind of a question of character sort of moment.
Yes, it's almost like Angel might be important to Wolfram and Hart.
Yes, very much so.
Yes. Alrighty. So for international titles, in French, we have what translates as Angel's Prison, which meh.
Yeah.
In German, it translates to The Gladiators of LA, which is, I guess, slightly better.
I'm not exactly sure how popular that one old TV show was of the gladiators for that, but
American Gladiators, you mean?
yeah, something like that.
I gotta see when American Gladiators was on the air. 89 to 90, 96, it looks like. So it would have been off the air for a while at this point.
Uh, yeah, and I doubt it would have lasted that long within the public consciousness. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been a big thing for most people. And it wasn't even when American Gladiators was on, it was a syndicated show that kind of
Yeah, yeah.
you know. Anyway,
Hmm.
it's an interesting theory though. What else? Oh, I also like when Angel wakes up in the cell. He's trying to speak different languages to the one demon. Like he goes through like
Yes.
French and Spanish and like a few others. I don't remember which now, but I thought that was kind of fun. Just because he's been
Just
around
trying
so
to.
long, he knows all these different languages. So he's like, right, how can I communicate with this?
Do I have to switch over to sign language or something?
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's good stuff.
Mhm.
Alrighty. So if you have nothing else about this episode, next week we will be discussing the episode Eternity.
Mm.
Angel's going to befriend a television star with the dream of becoming eternally young and beautiful. How could this go wrong?
Hmm. Hmm.
So until next time, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.